Hi everyone. Let's talk about Git. Git for the developers, especially for those who only starts their practice. Very likely, if you would like to know about Git, you will start with Git manual and you will start with its console commands. And that's exactly what I don't recommend to do. And here's why. On the front, you could see the console. I've just opened it for example, and on the background is opened one of many Git graphical user interfaces. I'm using Smart Git. And actually, virtually any client could be used. And I want to show you the most important part, the most important elements, why you should start with graphical user interface, not with a console. Basically, Git is a very powerful tool. It has lots of different features, but some of them are crucial for your everyday work, and some of them only provides you with extra possibilities that you need only time to time. So what do you need in your basic work? Here you could see the master branch of this project, and you could also see my personal branch. So I've created my branch. I've been working on the project. I've been changing files, and on every step where I was confident and what I've done, maybe it was a feature, maybe it was a part of the feature, I created a commit for this. And then I've been progressing. But you see my master branch still stays on the same position where it is clean. So what's going on in the graphical user interface? First, this is the most important part, is that I see the differences, the exact changes visually rendered and easy to read. So I see my original file, I see my change, and I see everything highlighted. This side-to-side diff is a must-have. The diff that you will see in console is much less usable than this. And the other thing is branches. So for example, I can do different interesting manipulation with branches. So for example, let's assume I work on this branch and I don't have this last commit. How can I get to that position without changing files? I can reset the branch, and you see how simple it is when you're using graphical tool. The important part is that I'm visually pointing to the history, to the certain state of the history, and I manipulate with that certain state. I don't have to define a formula to move any object there. Plus, I see that this is my branch. I visually see its relation to master branch. And by the way, I was wrong there. So I wanted to show you uncommitted changes, but I used hard reset. No problem. I can use soft reset. And again, you could visually see the difference. This is the previous branch, and this is the staged or unstaged changes. So here, working tree, it is the same as if I only did these changes. Now imagine the following situation, that I'm stuck with this feature and I want to switch to another one. What can I do? Basically, Git has stash feature for this, but if you're using graphical tools like this, it is much easier to use commits for everything because you have a perfect visual representation. So I create just a simple commit like this, stash. And after that, I can go work on a different feature. Right? I can continue from here and then return to my stash. I don't have to think how to call this particular state. I just want to capture this. Maybe this is not a different feature. Maybe it is the same feature, but I want to have a different approach. So again, I could easily pick, just select cherry pick, and I get only certain changes from that my draft here. And it is so easy to switch between the branches. You see, switch and reset them. I could decide that I want to start this feature from here. If I have some changes there, I could create a temporary branch. I can stash it there. If I don't use Git stashes, by the way, they're also visible here. But if I don't use them, I'm using a simpler model. All the objects are the same. All of them are visible in the same tree. If suddenly I lost some commit, for example, let's go here. Let's say I want to start developing from here. And oops, I realized that I've just lost my changes there. Not a problem. Good graphical user interface has a feature to show the orphaned commits, so I can go here. And by the way, you can see here the evolution of my thought. So I did the first commit, I did another commit, and I amended it. So I get the eventual commit that I like. Right? So wrapping up. If you master Git using the graphical user interface and you focus mostly on the graphical representation of Git history first, then you're getting graphical side-by-side Git diffs. By the way, the same is available in GitHub's user interface, web interface. And third, you manipulate with your temporary intermediate objects here. You never hesitate to create intermediate commit because you're sure that they won't go into master branch. They won't mess it up. By the way, when I'm done, let's assume all these commits were a single feature, right? I could reset to the eventual state. Then I could reset soft to the master branch. And here, if I am a single developer and I'm not using the pull requests, I can, you see, I've naturally squashed all the commits into single change, and I can title it like test 3 for feature or whatever is implemented there. And I commit this into the master branch and then push. If I'm working in a team, I can do exactly the same on my feature branch, then push, then create a pull request. So this is the third idea. Use the very basic objects of Git, like commits and branches for all your intermediate needs. Master, point and switch techniques, point and checkout, point and hard reset, point and soft reset. And that's basically all you need about Git. In the future, you will want to automate something, you will master bisection, you will want to get the list of branches from your script. For example, in this case, you need to master Git commands, Git console commands. Yes, all that is great, but your very basic experience, your understanding of Git fundamentals stems from this visual representation of visual diff and visual tree and your intermediate branches. Thanks for watching. Let me know if that helps to progress in your career faster. Bye.